Today we're going to be driving a route that was driven on a recent test. We're going to be applying two systems to help us drive safely. One of them is LADA, which is an acronym that stands for Look, Assess, Decide and Act. The other is MSM PSL, Mirror Signal Manoeuvre, using position, speed and look. You can read more about these two systems in the official DVSA Guide to Driving the Essential Skills. Let's go directly to the highlights. It's a good thing to look well ahead and be willing to slow down to let other vulnerable road users have priority, like we're doing here for these cyclists. Courtesy on the road is good, just don't beckon them across into the path of danger. Let's apply the M.S.M. PSL system as we approach this staggered junction. First, mirrors. Check the centre mirror and the left mirror. Then signal. There's one car behind that will benefit from a left indicator signal. Positioning. There are no road users on the left, so I can confirm my left signal by positioning to the left. Speed. The speed needs to be slow enough to stop at the giveaway lines if necessary. It will most likely require a gear change down to second or possibly first. MSM PSL leads into LADA because the final step is to look. We look right first, check the other roads to the left for vehicles and check right again. Now we assess. Is it safe to go? Once it is safe, you decide that you're going to go and you follow up by acting. The decision might also be to wait if it wasn't safe. On approach to the hook roundabout, we know we're going to be turning right, and we're going to use the LADA system. First we look. We're looking to see which lane is best, and we can see two lanes. We assess. If I was going straight or left, I'd use the left lane, but we're going right, so I decide to use the right lane. My action is to check my mirrors to make sure it's safe and stay right onto the right-hand lane. Looking onto the roundabout, I'm also going to use LADA. I assess. I need to give way to any vehicles on the roundabout coming from the right, unless it's clear that they're leaving the roundabout. I decide. I can see in this case that a moped rider is signalling to take the exit, so I decide to go. My action is to determine that I'm in the correct gear and enter the roundabout. I'm also checking my mirrors to see what's behind and to the left. As we pass 12 o'clock on the roundabout, I check my centre and left mirrors. I see it's clear on the left and I position to the left. The cars are giving way to me, but I need to be going slowly enough to allow these cyclists to clear my exit. This is a good illustration of why it's important not to speed up on a roundabout. Our exit from the hook roundabout becomes two lanes. Eyes on full beam and you can see a grocery delivery truck. I also check the rear view mirror. You can see the same thing in the rear facing camera here. The car in the outside lane is accelerating towards us, but up ahead the two lanes merge and join the road to the right. The car that's overtaking seems to take no account of this until almost the last minute. If it had kept going, I would have had to stop to allow it to go. And if I'd failed to check my mirrors, we could have had a collision. Before overtaking, make sure you can see that the way ahead is clear. This means you have to look as far ahead as possible. And remember to keep checking your mirrors as you drive to anticipate the actions of other road users, just as I did here. The speed limit on this section of the road is 50 miles an hour. Further along, the speed drops to 40 miles an hour, and there's a roundabout. So you need to be aware of your speed. If other cars are going above the speed limit and overtaking you, remember to check your mirrors if you need to change lanes to go right on the roundabout. Remember, if you're in the wrong lane for the exit, or you can't make the exit indicated on the sat-nav and you realise this too late, it's better to take the wrong exit safely or go back around the roundabout safely than it is to leave the roundabout in a hurried and dangerous way. Here, the sat-nav was directing me to turn right. I could see some hazards here, the parked cars on the left, and then this cyclist on the left-hand side. I decided, even though I was getting close to the cyclist, that I should hold back and not overtake, because I couldn't see what was coming, and this turned out to be a good decision, because 2 cars are oncoming. I waited for them, and now I can safely complete my turn. And into this road, it's a very narrow road. So we check our mirrors, see what's coming behind us, but also we're looking well ahead. We can see pedestrians in this road. We can see these parked cars on either side, making the road quite narrow. And that means that although the lampposts indicate that the speed should be 30 miles an hour maximum, the parked cars mean we can't do that, not safely. Look out for this runner on the left. They may not hear us approaching if they've got headphones on. And it's possible they'll want to cross the road, so proceed with caution. I check in my rear view mirror at this point, and I do actually see that the jogger did indeed want to cross the road. Up ahead, the road bends round to the right, and it's very poor visibility, so again we've got to proceed with caution. Checking our mirrors as we enter this new section of the road, and noticing on the left hand side that we've got a little girl playing hockey. We can't speed down these roads, it's just not safe. Fast forwarding here to a hazard perception test, and you can see the pedestrian crossing. Can you see it changing to amber? Another reason why we shouldn't speed as we go around roundabouts. What kind of pedestrian crossing is this? It's actually a puffin crossing because there's sensors on top of the lighting poles. This means it knows that there's no pedestrians on the crossing and that we're waiting, and we won't have to wait for so long. But it also means we have to wait for the green light before we can go. There's no going through on a flashing amber. We've done the right thing here, getting the speed down from 50 to 30 miles an hour before the gateway signs. There are pedestrians on the left, and up ahead a zebra crossing before the roundabout. But as we arrive, there's a jogger who might want to use the crossing. Remember, you must give way to anyone who's already crossing or who has stepped on the crossing. But that's not the case here. However, I'm going slowly enough to stop if the runner did decide to sprint to the crossing. Fortunately, we both time it so that neither of us has to wait. So now I focus on negotiating the roundabout. Remember to keep applying the L.A.D.A and M.S.M PSL systems at junctions and roundabouts like this, and keep on reminding yourself to check your mirrors whenever you change speed or direction. Remember that centre and left-hand mirror check as you leave this roundabout. Along this stretch of road back to Tolworth there are pedestrian crossings, so remember to keep looking well ahead, scanning both sides of the crossings, and be aware of your speed. The road on this part of the route is narrow, and it's going to require good planning, judgment and acceleration sense and experience to ensure that you handle any meeting situations confidently and safely. Remember to check your mirrors every time you change direction and speed. Okay, we're back at the test centre. Remember that you might not get this exact route for your test, but it's really helpful to have some idea of the types of roads that you're going to get in Tolworth. Knowledge of potential test routes is not a substitute for safe driving habits, the kind of habits that you'll develop and improve throughout your time as a motorist. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to this channel for more, and if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.